Great way to start a new week. Milk, 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 around the milk is milk.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing today? Welcome to Monday's stream. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Oh, right, I forgot about this fucking thing. It is my face. I'm sorry. I apologize for the fucking jump scare. Unless you were talking about the, I don't know if you're referencing me turning on stream or the emotes I sent, but either, I mean, correct. Either way, I guess. Hello, everybody. Hope your guys' weekends went well. Hope everybody had fun. Yeah, apologies for Friday. The latter half of last week was not great, mental health wise, and I also had a terrible fucking migraine all day. It was not the most opportune and best of circumstances for streaming. So, I didn't. And that's that. But it's a new week. It's a new day. here we are. I cannot fucking get this goddamn thing to cooperate with me. Is that, we're just gonna... Whatever. Hello! Hello! How are you guys? How are you doing today, chat? I am fine. Today was fine. Does that have a hood? No. No, it doesn't. Just has this, like, really long part that hangs off the back of it from the front. These headphones make my head look fucking enormous. Boy, how's this look for me? How's this doing for me? Yeah, it is a hood on the back. I love the design on the back, too. Hold on. This is a piece of Critical Role merch. Mana got it for me for Christmas. I don't know if you guys can see that design on the back. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, piece of Critical Role shit. It's this is supposed to be, if you know Critical Role, you probably already know what this is, but this is Bo's supposed to be like Bo's jacket. It's basically a sleeveless cardigan with a hood. Very Virgin Mary. I'll take it. Yeah, I love it. Mana got me this and Vax's hooded jacket, which is very similar design to this, except it has sleeves, very long sleeves, and actually has like a built-in little thumb hole so that the inner teen high school goth in you can do so without having to ruin any pieces of clothing yourself, and it's built right in. Super comfy. I haven't worn it in a little bit, but because it's been a little too cold. But yeah, Mana got me both those things as Christmas gifts. Speaking of, they and I really have to finish the desk that has been at this point sitting in our basement now for probably about a month. We're still kind of working on that. But yeah, my how was your guys' weekend? Mine was good. Saturday is when my time started to kind of go on the incline once again, which was nice. Didn't wake up with a head splitting migraine or anything like that. And spent some of the day relaxing, some of the day like actually getting stuff done. And then Mana and I went and hung out with some friends Saturday night, made dinner, a delicious new recipe that Mana found on like Facebook or something. But it was really good. It was like chicken and rice, and then it was a very Asian style sauce. It was a bunch of different things. She made the sauce, so I don't know what all exactly went into it, but it was really good. We did like that in the slow cooker, and just made some rice. So and hung out with some friends, and that was pretty nice. And then yesterday was just work for me, and that was kind of really about it. Yesterday wasn't really anything too special, I don't think. Work Saturday, yesterday was okay. Managed to assemble a bed frame. And I fall asleep watching The Last of Us. Yeah. Prepped a week of oats. I've been, the last couple of weeks, I think the last like 2 or 3 weeks, I've been doing my best at I've been doing my best to do like a low to no carb diet, with a couple exceptions, of course, like the weekend. Again, like on Saturday we had chicken and rice. Yesterday, I did spaghetti and meatballs, so obviously the noodles were big carb, but I've been doing my best, and I've been doing fine. Honestly, like the hardest part about it isn't necessarily, how do I put it? My big issue cutting carbs isn't it's not an impulse to eat carbs. It's not like craving. That's the word I was trying to think of. It hasn't been like an overwhelming craving for carbs that like always pushes me towards them. It's literally just like, I don't know, I guess my upbringing and everything that I have cooked, like all of the recipes that I know involve carbs. Normally as like a pretty big like staple of the dish. So the hardest part about it has just been recipes. Just trying to figure out what to do with all of these vegetables and proteins. That isn't just make them. That isn't just like saute the vegetables or bake the vegetables and do whatever you're doing with the protein. Like trying to find interesting and fun but relatively easy dishes that are mostly just vegetables and protein has been difficult, especially with the added thing with my type 2 diabetes, that I also can't really include things like fruits, and with certain sauces I have to be very careful because of the sugar content. So I was already dieting, just having diabetes in the first place, but now like cutting out carbs as well to try and help with that has been a journey. Trying to get back to just meat and veggies, really. The oats have a ton of probiotics and protein. Keto made me afraid of carbs, but you know how much Quotons likes oatmeal and the like, so I'm trying to make peace with healthy carbs. Yeah, so like, for the average person, without too many health complications in those terms, just like anything, it's just moderation. I understand I am in a special kind of category where I have to be more careful about those things. Carbs as a whole are not evil. It just depends on your lifestyle and your input versus your output. Anything is like that. So after my diagnosis, cutting out sugar was pretty easy. I wasn't very much into sweets to begin with. There were definitely, obviously things that I can no longer eat. It sucks, and I can't just like go out or go to like a social gathering or a family gathering and just be like everybody else, like when it comes to like the desserts and things like that. And like I have to watch with certain sauces and things of that manner. But overall, the sugar thing wasn't too difficult, especially with how many things there are out there with sugar alternatives. So that part was easy, and I was able to, the last time I got my A1C checked, which was coming up on a year ago, I was down around 3 points from my initial diagnosis, which was 2 years before that. Or maybe just 1 year. I don't quite remember. But, so that's kind of been my thing, is like, I've been trying to get a little more active. That's why I said I would take this from my mother-in-law. And, so just cutting sugar already lost me a really good amount of weight, got my A1C down around 3 points. So at this point, it's like, okay, if I just get a little more active and try to control my carbs better than I have been, dropping those next 3 points to essentially get me into a state of remission, like that's where I want to be. Is I know for the rest of my life this is something I'll have to deal with. I'll still be on medication. I still will have to avoid sugars as much as possible, but I at least want to get myself to the point where, like, I don't have to, like, have an anxiety attack over the thought of, like, having a donut. So, most sugar substitutes make my stomach cramp horribly. Oh, that sucks. So I've given up on even trying to get sugar-free things. That really sucks. I don't know what I would do. We're kind of trying to cut back on sugar in the house. To my knowledge, there is no candy in the house currently. That's good. If you're looking for... So sugar-free candy is kind of a minefield, because you will get some that, like... Nova! Shut up! The most famous one of these, I think, are specifically the Haribo sugar-free gummy bears. They even have, like, a warning on the package that's like, hey, do not eat too many of these. And those are, like, you hear a lot of stories about people, like, going ham on sugar-free gummy bears and then just having the worst diarrhea of their life. So, you know, those you gotta be a little careful with. What I have found, Reese's and Hershey, there's a bunch of, like, the mainstream candies that do offer sugar-free options. So I've been very fortunate in that the ones that I enjoy, I've been able to find. And so, like, Hershey's dark chocolate, Reese's, like the mini cups, Lily chocolate. I'll have to look into those. I haven't seen those. The big ones that I've seen are Russell Stover. I've tried all of, well, I won't say all. I've tried their selections that are wildly available, and I really like them. They taste pretty good. Their peanut butter cups are definitely not Reese's, but it's not that they're bad. They're just different. Which is fine, and so, like, so Russell Stover is always a go-to for me, and, you know, again, it's been surprisingly not difficult to find sugar-free or sugar alternative drinks, candies, you know, other sweets. Lily uses the erythritol. Okay. What did I just pick up? I just bought something 2 days ago that was a sugar-free thing that used erythritol as the sugar replacement.
Hey, look at that. Truck.
Hey, Dubs. How's it going, buddy? Oh, Sweet Tea. Like Walmart's Great Value brand. They have a sweet tea that is sugar-free, and it uses erythritol. So I've been able to have sweet tea for the first time in years. What else? The big things, the two big things that have been hard for me to find are, I have yet to find anywhere around here that sells a sugar-free donut. And what was it? Oh, cereal. I love a bowl of cereal, but it is so hard to find a good tasting, cheap, sugar-free, or at least with an amount of sugar I can ingest around here. I know there are some, they just get so fucking expensive. And I will say, prefer unsweetened tea I try not to say that too loud now that I live in the South. True. People around here go fucking insane for their tea, for their sweet tea. But yeah, for cereal, I was actually surprised at, now having to look at nutritional labels much more closely than I ever have had to before. There's a lot of cereals that I'm surprised at their sugar content, both to both ends of the spectrum. Like some that I thought I would be fine getting because they seemed like the healthier options, and yet they have an amount of sugar I wasn't expecting, versus the stuff I thought I could never have again was actually an okay amount. Biggest example, I think, is so the metric I usually use, because I, in doing my research for, my condition and everything, most of what I saw said a type 2 diabetic can consume up to 25 grams of sugar a day and be okay. You still shouldn't be hitting that every single day, but that's like the limit of where you can be. Most cereals, I would say on the whole, hover around 12 grams per serving, and that serving size is usually between 1 to 1.5 cups, which it is basically a bowl of cereal. And I've seen some that I thought were going to be far less than that be at, I haven't actually said, wait, did I? Most cereals are at 12 grams of sugar, and that's included sugar, per serving, which again is about a cup to a cup and a half. So 12 grams is kind of what I'm looking at. And so again, I am surprised at some cereals that hit 12 grams because I thought they were going to be more. And then there are some that I was like, oh, there's no way it'll be that. And then it either is that or more. I can't remember which one specifically, but there was some healthier one I was looking at, and I thought, oh, okay, I like this, and which is good because it's supposed to be a healthier cereal. So I can at least have it, assuming it would be maybe 4 or 5 grams. And it was like 12 or 13, and it was like, it was one of the Special K brands. Most of them are like 12 to 13 grams per serving. But then I go to, so my favorite cereal, my favorite indulgent cereal is Reese's Puffs. They're so goddamn good. I love them so much. And they are 12. They're 12 grams of sugar per serving. So I was actually really relieved to know that, like, I don't have to never have my favorite cereal again. I could have a box in the house and have a bowl, like, one at a time, which is definitely not what I did before. But I can have them, and that's great. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is super good too. I prefer, or I guess preferred, because I think they got taken off the shelf again. I was so happy when they brought back French Toast Crunch, I think is what they called it. I went ape shit for that stuff when I was a kid. I ate so many bowls. Life is fine. I do like Life. Life is another one that I was pretty surprised was what their sugar content was. Because Life is another one that kind of brands themselves as like a healthier option, but a lot of the Life cereal was pretty high too. Life and Special K were the two big ones that I was like, oh, wow, okay. I thought that would be a doable alternative, but I guess not. And then, yeah, like the the healthier choices compared to the, you know, normally seen as sugar-filled unhealthy choices are all actually around the same in terms of their sugar content. I have found some that are closer to like 7 to 8 grams. But of course, normally they're not ones that I usually go for. And then there are ones that I do love that are known to be sugary and just are like, oh, I probably should just avoid those. I used to like Special K, but after a while, especially when I got more active, it just didn't fill me up enough. Well, I mean, you know, that's part of their ploy too, right? Is that they make it so that you want to eat more, which means you eat more, which means you run out faster, which means you need to buy more. There's definitely I haven't found any cereal, even like the super sugary stuff, that has hit like such a level that I'm like, oh, I can never have that. Like I haven't found anything that's, you know, 25 grams or more per serving. Definitely some that are pushing it. I think I've seen some like 17 and 18 gram. Oh, what was that? I love, I want to make sure I'm thinking of one, and I want to make sure it's the one that I'm correct. Yeah, I love Golden Crisp. And it used to just be called Sugar Crisp. Sugar Crisp, Sugar Crisp. Let's see the nutritional info for Golden Crisp, though, because I remember that one being one that, like, I saw, and I'm like, okay, that's definitely way too much for me to just, like, have normally. But as, like, the occasional sweet treat, nutritional label. Okay, yeah, that's why. So, I take back what I said. So, yeah, I don't know if, nope, that's not open. I don't know if you guys can make it out, but, so this is the Golden Crisp, nutritional label. For one serving, which is 1 cup, it's 21 grams. 21 grams of added sugar, which is, you know, too much. Alright, Dove, so thanks for stopping in as always, man. It's always good to see you and to get the hello from you. You have a good rest of your day, bud. Oh, I gotta fix this. What's this doing? This isn't good. You guys have no idea what I'm talking about. Now you do. What's that? Can I do that? Okay. Yeah, Golden Crisp is like 21 grams a serving, which is no. That's a little too much for me. Which again, like, that sucks because I really like it. Golden Crisp, yeah, Golden Crisp and Honey Smacks are basically the same cereal, which would also lead me to believe that they're probably the same sugar content as well. Oh, what about... Hold on. So, my other favorite indulgent cereal... Okay, I've been learning this recently, because, like, a lot of content creators have been doing, like, cereal tier lists and things like that, and just, like, ranking them. I seem to be the only fucking person who loves Oreo O's. Is that just me, I guess? I fucking love this cereal so much. Now, granted, that makes a lot of sense for me because one of my favorite flavors is cookies and cream. And this is basically just a cookies and cream cereal. What, are you fucking kidding me? I can't even read that. Okay, so for a serving size of 1 1/3 cup, 16 grams. Okay. So again, not... I shouldn't be eating it every day, but I could have one in a day, and it would be okay. As long as the rest of my day was alright. It was okay, but not my top 10. Cookies and cream is my favorite ice cream, but I really don't like Oreo cookies on their own. I do. And that was another unfortunate thing is, there are other brands that make a similar cookie, but Oreos themselves no longer make sugar-free Oreos, which is, and I phrase it that way because the even bigger disappointment is not only do they not make them, they used to, and they don't anymore. And that sucks because, like, I love Oreos. I really do. Well, let's sugar-free Oreo alternative. Gullen? Ugh. No sugar added Twins cream sandwich. Is that what I need to be looking for? A cream sandwich? This is chocolate cookies. Murray chocolate cookies. $16.99 on Amazon. $9.30 on Amazon. Fucking God. I love them, but I don't love them that much. To pay close to $20 just for a package of them? No. Corn Pops only has 10 grams? I like Corn Pops. If it's what I'm thinking of. Yes, I love Corn Pops! Oh, that makes me very happy. But how big is the serving? No. 10 grams in the whole box? That can't be right. No. That can't be right. That cannot be 10 grams in the whole box. Oh, one of the single serving, but oh, the tiny thing. Okay, okay. I was like, no fucking way this thing only has 10 grams of sugar in it. Okay, well, what about, can I get something that's readable? Jesus Christ. Serving size. 1 1/3 cups is 12 grams. Okay. Okay, so that is another doable one. Otherwise, I'm gonna... Yeah, I was about to say, it's like, I'll end stream and go to Walmart right the fuck now if an entire box of Corn Pops is only 10 grams of sugar. No, but it's... Okay, so, like, cup and a half is somewhere around, like, 11 to 12 grams. So that's actually a pretty doable one. Oh, I like Kix. I like Kix. A lot of people don't, and that's okay. I understand. It's very plain. It's very corn. But I like the sweetness in it. Jesus fucking Christ. Serving size, cup and a half. 4 grams? Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. I'm getting some kicks. I'm getting some kicks. Yeah, all of these. Cup and a half. 4 grams of sugar. Awesome. That's really good to know, actually. I feel really old getting about the sugar content of cereal. Hey, listen. When you're watching a streamer who's, 30 plus, with a bunch of medical conditions, this is the content you get. You get some Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, a game that came out in 2011, and you get cereal nutritional facts. That's what you're getting on this channel. What other shit do I like that I've kind of avoided? I don't really know. Like, I've loved cereal my whole life. It's a good meal. It's a good snack. I've loved just getting a bowl of cereal. But it's like, at this point, like, I know what I like. And, you know, I don't really go too crazy. Do they still make berry kicks? Here's the nutritional info for it. I can't make that out. So I'll put it this way. It's double what plain kicks is, but that still only puts it at 8. But do they still make it? Do they still make it? Is Berry Kicks discontinued? Huh, nope. Yeah, they still make it. That's interesting. I haven't seen that one around here, or around. Ooh, okay. I like Trix. What do we want to say? Because I feel like I know what their sugar content is, but I remember being positively surprised about it. Because, so here's my thing. You're not a fan of Trix? I love Trix. 11. I think it was around 11 or 12. It was one of those that I looked and I'm like, oh, this is a, you know, big, fruity, sugary cereal. No way I can have it. Oh, I could have a bowl. Can't read that. 1 1/4 cup is 12 grams. Okay, so yeah, that was one that, again, I was looking, I went to look at it expecting to see that, you know, 18 plus, and saw that it was pretty much right on the average of 12 for a cup and a fourth. 12 grams. I don't like Lucky Charms. Mana does, though. So we do have them in the house every once in a while. So they're also 12 grams, but that's only for 1 cup. So probably closer to 13 or so grams for... marshmallows are vile. I don't like Lucky Charms marshmallows. I love marshmallow in everything but cereal. I think cereal marshmallows aren't that great. They're always a little stale. They're always a little too crunchy. They don't really taste like it. It's like you sucked all the air out of a marshmallow. But I like regular marshmallows. I love marshmallow fluff, like the stuff that goes like with peanut butter on sandwiches. Love that shit. Oh, actually, that was another one that I was surprised that I could buy and occasionally have. Marshmallow fluff. Yeah, the jet puffed like marshmallow cream. 2 tablespoons, 6 grams, and like 2 tablespoons, like that is. I would probably only put 1 tablespoon on a sandwich. So, something that, again, I thought I could never have because I'm just like, oh, marshmallows are just sugar. Like, that's all. It's like sugar and vanilla extract, and that's what a marshmallow is. So I was like, there's no way I could have something like that. But no, essentially for me, like 3 grams of sugar for a tablespoon of it. I know! That's so crazy to me. Like, when so for those who don't know, my family and I are originally from New York. We moved here to Indiana for my dad's job, and granted, I was a kid, but you know, I was raised by my parents, and so you know, I grew up with all of the northern style of, you know, of snacks, of food when available, of course, and Fluffernutter was one of those things where, like, you know, I'd ask a friend, you know, like, I would either ask somebody or be asked if I wanted a Fluffernutter sandwich, and they'd be like, a what? It's like, are you kidding me? You don't know what Fluffernutter is? The incredible combination of peanut butter and marshmallow fluff? Holy fuck, let me shove this in you. It's so goddamn good. It's such a good pairing of flavors. Especially like on toast. That is one of those. I do prefer sandwiches as toast instead of soft bread. But if I'm, again, as like a midnight snack, or when I'm high, like to have a snack, like if I'm having like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, it's a 50-50 whether I'll go ahead and toast the bread or not. It just depends on how like impatient I'm being that day. Like I could give or take PB&J on toast, but a Fluffernutter sandwich to me has to be on toast, because otherwise it's just too. Peanut butter is sticky in the mouth. Marshmallow fluff is sticky in the mouth. Put that between flappy bread with no structure to it, and you're just looking at being a Mr. Ed stand-in for 30 minutes. So those sandwiches, I do feel like, kind of have to have like a rigidity to them. They have to have some structure to them. So those I'll always do on toast. Plus, it just makes it easier to spread. A Fluffernutter latte. Queen, shut up. That sounds so goddamn good. Oh. Actually. You... Well, I don't know if you want a public or anything. You know... coffee syrup flavors. What is that brand again? Like the brand of flavored syrups that you can like buy at Walmart. I forget the name because I want to look up. PB&J is one of my favorite food groups. Yeah, Quoton's got me a designated PB&J knife for Christmas. That's adorable. Tarani, is that what it is? Well, okay, I know, but like, I also have to think sugar-free, and they have a line of sugar-free stuff. If you can tell me about a line of syrup flavorings that is widely available and sugar-free, then okay, they'll have a customer for life. Da Vinci. So here, I'm gonna look up if they have a can you drop the link for it? Because if well, hold on, okay. Da Vinci syrup. Okay, well, I found it. Because here's going to be my big question. I did see that they have sugar-free. What would you do for a Fluffernutter flavor? Like, what would the marshmallow be? Just vanilla? Would you just use vanilla? You have to order them? Okay, well, I mean, depending on the price. Products. Oh, okay. It depends on if they're sugar-free or not. I'm trying to like, what would I do for, like, if I wanted a Fluffernutter coffee? Would that just be like vanilla and like, peanut flavored? They have a toasted marshmallow? Okay. They have sugar-free toasted marshmallow? Do you know what I would click on for the sugar-free? Or is it just... like, you have to go to the product page or something? Do I just go to, like, where to buy? As a heads up for anybody... I'm not in Singapore. No, you cannot know my location, but I will type it in. Yes, search, that's... Quit telling me Morocco. What the fuck is happening? I'm just gonna try refreshing the page. I don't know what's happening. So you're telling me Cairo is the... Why are you telling me it's only 10 kilometers away? What the fuck is happening? What's going on here? I have gotten your link. I am clicking on the link. Webstront. That's clever. I like that. Oh, only $7. Okay. Man, I'd use that shit all the time. I don't make a ton of coffee. But I may do it a little more if I had this. Listen, it's not my fault, okay? I went to where to buy, and then I put in Evansville, and it was just like, hey, Cairo's 10 kilometers away, and it's like... No, it isn't. Ooh, I can get an optional pump. That's really cool. I'm gonna bookmark this page for when I have money. That's awesome. I'm trying to think of what... So if I wanted to do a peanut butter thing, do they have like a peanut flavor? Like, what would I do for that? Lime. Lime and toasted marshmallow. Could you imagine that? Monin is a great brand, but pricier. We use Da Vinci more than Monin. They have peanut butter syrup? Okay. Ooh, Irish cream. That's a good one, too. Gingerbread. Blueberry. Banana. Yeah, I'll have to... Oh, red velvet. Uh-oh. Something I didn't know until it was pointed out to me very recently. Blackberry and peanut butter for PB&J. Ooh, you're right. Keep that in mind. Something I didn't know about till relatively recently. Red velvet is, I think, like my favorite flavor of cake. Didn't know that it was just, I think it's like devil's food cake, but dyed red. Like, whatever, red velvet itself is not a flavor. Like, the flavor is just another flavor, but red. Didn't know that. Banana, pecan, and brown sugar is banana nut bread. I miss banana bread so fucking much. I should make some banana bread. Mana bought some, like, baking sugar substitute a little while ago. I should make some banana bread. Yeah, it's just chocolate. It's like devil's food cake, which, again, even that in itself is just, like, dark chocolate. With red food coloring. No idea why. Yeah, I'll have to look through these. Oh, there's the peanut butter flavor. Toasty. $5.76. Oh, that's if you buy in a lot of 12. $6.29 each. Okay, so I mean, even still, you know, like just a little over $6 each. I'm sure, you know, like the shipping will add whatever, but it's probably not too bad. Oh, it is regular though. I'm seeing that. Oh, that sucks. Well, big old poop. That may just have to be one where I gotta, you know, get whatever's available to me. Peanut butter flavor syrup sugar free. Let's see who does have it. Just start melting peanut butter into espresso. Melting. Okay, so here's my other thing about peanut butter. I hate peanut butter flavored things, but I love actual peanut butter. So what I mean by that is like a lot of like peanut butter cookies or you know, like biscuits and like peanut butter flavored things, is like even like candy, like it just, I don't know, there's some falseness to it. The lies, I can taste the lies. I could taste the artificialness of it, and so, you know, most of the time, like, I don't do it. I just love like actual peanut butter, and so that's why, like, I'll never get peanut butter flavored ice cream, but I will get ice cream and melt some peanut butter on it and drizzle it on there. Ooh, is good. That's what, yeah, so same thing. Like, it's, if I'm gonna do peanut butter with something. Oh, see, so I will say that's one of the few things that I did find that I loved. What is it? I can't remember the name of the brand, but there's a very famous, like, peanut butter whiskey. I think that has, like, a sheep as the logo or something. That I really enjoyed. So I guess I could just say, like, I'm weird with it. Oh no, Da Vinci does. Here it is. From Sirius Sips. Sugar-free peanut butter. So ha. The PB syrup tastes like the whiskey? Huh. No, it's fine. Like, I'm actually, like, yeah, like, what I usually try and have, like, a vague plan of, like, what we're doing for stream or whatever. You know, we've been playing Kingdom Hearts or whatever. This is what I love. I love just sitting here, being ADHD with chat, just going off and looking at topics and sitting here and just chatting with you guys. It feels like I'm just hanging out with a friend. And so these are the types of streams I actually really, really enjoy. So don't worry about derailing it or anything like that. Plus, it's my fucking stream. If this is what I want to do, I'll do it. Okay, so good to know there is some sugar-free peanut butter options out there for the flavor syrups. Screwball. That's the name of the whiskey. Yeah, this stuff. I love this stuff. My father-in-law introduced me to it. He just came out one day. We were over at their place for, like dinner or something. And me and my brother-in-law were just hanging out in their garage, and he came out with a little glass for each of us, and he was just like, "Here, I found this at the store. I thought you'd like it." I took a sip, and my life changed. Yeah, I mean, I for sure understand, it not being for everybody, but yeah, I really liked it. I also saw that Bailey's now has a not sugar-free, but a reduced sugar. I saw this in the liquor store the last time I was in there. Yeah, it's just Bailey's Light. Deliciously light. 40% less sugar and calories. Well, hold on. Bailey's Deliciously Light. I really don't like that alcohol isn't required to put nutritional info on it, because it makes this shit really hard. But here it is. Okay, serving size is 2.5 fluid ounces, which isn't a lot. It's basically like a shot, right? Amount percent alcohol by volume. Really? You're gonna list the calories, the carbs, the fat, and the protein, but not the sugar. Oh, no, wait. Bailey's Delicious Light has per 2.5 fluid ounces, 7.8 grams of sugar. That's the reduced. The carbs were 9.3 grams. So per 2.5 fluid ounces, you're looking at 139 calories, 9.3 grams of carbs, 3.7 grams of fat, and 0.8 grams of protein. And it's 32 proof. It's 16.1% alcohol. That seems pretty low. No, it doesn't. I kind of second guessed myself there. I don't think I want to see the full... Right? Like, I'm looking at that and I'm like, that seems like already teetering on the edge of what I would consider okay for me. Well, let's look, huh? Yeah, see, this is the fucking shit I hate. Like, why aren't they required to put the nutritional info on there? Okay, well, that doesn't help. There's a Bailey's brownie mix? Oh. Chocolate flavored donuts. Yeah, like it's I'm guessing they put it on here because I don't know, it's weird. Like, why does the light version require you to see that, but the regular version doesn't? Oh, you know what we can do, though? So the Deliciously Light said it was 40% less. Whatever, like sugar and whatever the other thing was. Who cares? So how the fuck do I do this? 7.8. No, because that would be 40% of 7.8. How do I... Fuck. How do I figure out what 7.8 is 40% of? Fuck. Those Bailey's candies are dangerous. My mom thought they were just Bailey's flavored, and my brother and I realized quickly they had alcohol, so we scarfed them before she could read the label. That's incredible. Yeah, the like alcohol infused chocolates are really damn good. Okay, hold on. I can do this. Well, I mean, 40% is almost 50. It's 7.8 times 2. Okay, so I would guess if 7.8 is the 40% of whatever the regular is, I would imagine in a regular bottle of so regular Bailey's, 2.5 fluid ounces would probably be around 14 to 15 grams of sugar, which is goddamn ridiculous. Sirius says 3.1. Yeah, because what you're doing, what I'm guessing you did is 7.8 times 0.4. That's going to get you 40% of 7.8. Siri and I are about to fight. Oh, I wonder if... Hold on. Yeah, let me try some. What is 7.8 40% of?
It's 0.0784.
That's not... What is 7.8 40% of? It's not...
It's 0.0784.
It keeps doing 7.840%. And that's not what I'm asking. How do I phrase this so Siri will understand what I'm trying to ask? What is 40% of 15?
The answer is 6.
So we need to go higher. What is 40% of 17?
It's 6.8.
We're getting there. What is 40% of 20?
It's 8.
Okay. So I was wrong, and it's a little... It's basically like... It's 20. It's oh my fucking god. So yeah, that's what that means. A shot of Bailey's is 20 grams of sugar. A shot of Bailey's is 20 grams, because a shot... How many ounces in a shot? Okay, so it's a big shot, but standard shot is 1.5. Okay, so... But even still, it's a lot, right? It's a lot, right? It's still a lot of sugar. But, I mean, go figure. It's a very sweet drink. Which, again, was my big issue, because I love liqueurs the most. And those are probably some of the the type of alcohol with the most sugar content in it. It is a lot. In 2.5 fluid ounces, you have 20 grams of sugar. And how big is a regular bottle again? Is it a fifth? It's a weird shaped bottle, so I'm not sure. Oh, wait a minute. What? Yes, god damn it. Okay, so this would be the regular bottle, which is 750 milliliters. Fuck, how do you get to... So 1 milliliter... Hold on. So 750 milliliters is 25... is about 25 fluid ounces. So in a regular bottle of Bailey's, there's 10 of those. So basically, a regular bottle of Bailey's would have around 200 grams of sugar. See, I stick with whiskey. 0 sugar. Is that right? Huh. Huh. That's good to know, actually. Oh, so here's the other one that did sadden me, though. Besides liqueurs, you want to know my other, like, my go-to for liquor? Rum. Which is just sugarcane. My favorite rum was Bacardi Oak Heart. That was always my go-to. I used to always have a bottle of it. But the two that I would always have on hand for just when the mood hit... I really don't drink, even before, like, my diabetes and everything. I really didn't drink too often. But in my, as being, like, an adult with a liquor cabinet, the two for me that I would always have on hand in case I ever did want, like, just something to, like, sit and sip on were Bacardi Oak Heart and Di Serono. So a spiced rum and an amaretto, which, as far as I'm aware, are ludicrously sugary. But does amaretto... some examples of liqueurs on the lower end of the sugar spectrum include amaretto with 3 grams per ounce. And Bailey's Irish Cream with 6 grams per ounce? That math doesn't add up with what we were just doing. Well, does Di Serono... How much sugar is in Di Serono? Oh, man. This alcoholic beverage is extremely sweet with 19 grams of sugar per serving. Both very sugar. Yeah, I know. Again, rum is made of sugarcane, and I wasn't sure about amaretto, but... Each 1/2 fluid ounce contains 5.8 grams of sugar. Holy God. Well, that fucking sucks. Di Serono was the first alcohol I ever drank that I enjoyed. I was a good boy, and I never drank alcohol when I wasn't of age. Like, I wasn't old enough, so I didn't drink. if you're ever able to even sip rums, Cardinal Spirits is good. Made in Bloomington. Okay. What the fuck was I saying? Oh, so yeah, never drank alcohol. In 2010, my family and I took a trip over to Europe, something I've talked about a couple times on stream, and at the time, like I had turned 18 by then. So I was of the legal drinking age for pretty much every country over there. And so that my parents' thing was, when we're back home, you are not old enough, you cannot drink. Since we are here, you are old enough according to the laws of the lands that we are in, so go ahead. So I tried beer. My first beer was Amstel, a brand called Amstel or Amstel. I don't want to Americanize that too much. Yeah, it was this stuff. Hated it. Didn't like it. So next step was wine. And my first wine, I don't remember the brand name or anything like that, but it was a red wine. And we were in Paris. And I told myself, like, because we sat down at a like an outdoor cafe to have some lunch. And I ordered a glass of wine, and I said to myself, I was like, if I don't like this wine, I'm not going to like wine. Like, if you taste wine in the heart of Old Town Paris and don't like it, chances are you're not going to be a wine person. And I drank it, and I didn't like it. And I will say that is something that has stuck. Like, to this day, I wish I was, but I'm not a big wine person. I actually remember my first, like, when I took a sip of it and I, got that face, and my mom was like, so how is it? My description of it was accidentally just the definition of wine. Because I took a sip, she saw my face, she's like, what do you think? And I just said, I don't know, it just tastes like 70-year-old grape juice. That's wine. That's what wine is. That's what it is. My favorite beer at 21 was Guinness. If I drank it now, it'd be like eating a sandwich. So I did grow to like beer. I actually do really like beer. Again, something I have to be very careful of because of all the sugars and the carbs that are in it. Wine. That's just wine. You're right. But yeah, so I was like trying a couple different things, and I was like, no, this all tastes like shit. Like, I just don't really like it. And then we were in an airport, on a layover, I think, or just waiting for our flight. And my dad went up to the bar and got Di Serono on the rocks. Oh, okay, you're good. And he got a Di Serono on the rocks. And, he handed it to me and was like, here, try. Loved it. Fell in love with it. And it did start going uphill from there. The first beer that I had that I enjoyed was, surprise, surprise, in Germany. I say this every time I bring up this fucking trip. We were in Germany for only 4 hours out of that trip, and it was, I think, my favorite thing that we did on the trip. Like, that afternoon in Germany was so much fun. I adored it. And so again, came time for lunch that day, and we found this really cool, like basement tavern that we went into. I think mostly because their menu did have some really interesting selections, and the food there was incredible. But also because they were doing a special that day for like €1 beers. So we went there, and I had a few. and it was delicious, and that was my first time like kind of getting a little buzz, and I was just sitting there like at lunch with my parents, so that was interesting. My parents, by the way, who are very much not drinkers. At the time, my mom now will like have a beer every once in a while, but back then, like, and it's like my dad still doesn't, like, they don't drink at all. They're not against it or anything, like it's not like a moral thing or anything. They just don't, but they don't judge anybody else for doing it either. You know, they're not advocates against alcohol or anything like that. You know, they just tell people to be safe. But yeah, that was my first few experiences with alcohol, and then I flipped back to this screen, and I forgot how I had things set up. And you guys know, like, normally I have my door closed. Lil Freddy scared the shit out of me. I came back to this screen. I forgot he was up there, and just my door is open, and I just see that, and it whew, that got me. No, but then, so once we came back, a couple years later, I had a little stint, like 8 months to a year, where I worked at a liquor store. And even though it was retail, and even though it was dealing with, you know, clearly dealing with people who wanted alcohol, you know, not all of which were sober people, I had, I don't know, like, it was I look back at that time fondly. Like, the job was, again, I don't want to say fun, because it's not like I wanted to be there. It's not like I looked forward to work. But it was one of the least... It was one of the jobs I looked... How the fuck do I phrase this? It was a job that I didn't mind going to. Because pretty much, like, almost every shift essentially went the same of, I get there and it's super busy, because I worked the evening shift, so, like, I started around 4 or 5 o'clock. So I get there and we have a big rush, and, like, me and the manager who are there kind of take care of everything, and then they went home, and I just dealt with, you know, with the customers for the evening, and you know, anything I needed to do in the store, like facing and dusting and restocking and all that sort of stuff. But once all that stuff was done, and if there was no one there, like, you know, I'm just kind of there, you know, chilling. Mystery said, for a little while I worked at a liquor store, where Quotons and I grew up. Well, oh no, he did for a little bit. But I worked at a liquor store for about like 8 months to a year. And like I said, like I didn't hate it, which is about as much as I can, as good of a comment I can make for any job. But yeah, like it was nice. Most of the people there were pleasant, and I enjoyed helping people find what they wanted and giving advice, which was also like it was nice to, you know, it was nice to, you know, like sample stuff from the store that I was allowed to. And, you know, it just kind of like really opened me up to that world. And, you know, like I said, it was nice. Like, I never got like commission on anything or whatever, but like I would never lie to people. I'd be as helpful as I could, but like if they came in and they were like, "Hey, is blah 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 good?" If I knew it, if I had tried it and I didn't like it, I would tell them so. I would always be honest with them. I would never just lie to them about something just to like try and get a sale. Probably also because I didn't get commission, so there was no like incentive for me to lie. But if someone came in and was like, "Hey, I'm looking for blah blah blah," like, what do you think about it? If I had tried it and liked it, yeah, I'd hype it up and get the sale. If I hadn't tried it before, I would tell them that. I'd be like, "Hey, you know, if they would ask me about something, like my opinion on something, I would just tell them, like, I haven't tried it myself, but I've heard, you know," and I would tell them whatever I'd heard, whether I'd heard good or bad things about it. And if I had tried it and didn't like it, I would tell them as much as well. But the caveat to that is, it's not that I would just tell them like, "Oh, no, that's shit, don't buy that." I would tell them that, but I would always offer some sort of alternative if the answer to the question was no. Like, if the answer to the question of if it was good was no, I would always try and give some sort of alternative. It's like, you know, "No, I haven't tried that myself," or "No, I haven't heard good things," or "No, I don't think it's good, but I have heard X thing is good," or "I've tried this thing and I think that is pretty good." And I would always leave it up to them. Like, they could take my opinion that something is gross and still buy it. I don't give a shit. But I would always try and help them as much as possible, because that's what I would want too. I feel like all the people that have talked to who worked at liquor stores say similar things. I came at it from a different side. I was a bartender / drink designer for a year and a half, so I didn't do the retail side of it. Worked at a winery when I was a teenager, but was old enough to push the wine at that point. I love drink design, which I still get with doing coffee now. Yeah, and so that was the other thing that kind of opened me up too, was like the world of mixology, which I was really interested in for a while too, and had kind of always considered, you know, doing something with that. But I don't want I never wanted to be like a bartender, because I did not want to deal with all that. But I did kind of want to like stick in like the alcohol world. I just didn't know how, with no like education or certificates in it, and for a good pay. Because like when you're just working at a liquor store, it's normally just fucking minimum wage. And so like right now, if I could go and work at a liquor store for how much I'm making right now or more, for full time, I would really heavily consider it. Because I like I said, like, I don't know if I could say that I enjoyed it, but it was the least amount of stress, I guess, that I've ever really felt with a job. Like I said, I liked the interaction with people. I'll tell you the career path that when I was working at the store, I thought I wanted to go into. If I was like, okay, I'm enjoying this environment, how can I get into it as like an actual career and have like full time and like probably better pay and benefits and things like that, is every once in a while we would have a distributor come in and with a person or two to give out free samples to people coming in, just as advertisement for whatever the fucking thing is that we sold at the store. So like there was a brand of wine called like Butterfly Kiss, I think, and they were our big one. It just in like the year I was there, I think like 3 or 4 times we would have a rep or two come in to, you know, buy a couple bottles or bring their own, And they'd give little, again, like they would just stand in the store and give free samples to people as they came in if they wanted them. And that's all they did. They did that for a couple hours, packed up, went to a different store. And so obviously that is more like the sales side of things. But from my perspective, I was like, and unfortunately, like I never really talked to any of them because none of them wanted to talk to me. But they, from my perspective, it looked like something I wanted to do, to like travel around to different stores and like push this product, like just kind of like that side of sales, because like it always surprised me, because as much of a introverted person as I am, who does not like dealing with people or being in public for too long and things like that, I hate the idea of phone sales, of, you know, like sitting at a computer just fucking cold calling people and shit like that. But going out in public like that I can do that. I like doing that. It just sucks that, like, I think I'm good at sales, but that is a whole industry that is so shitty nowadays and so predatory that I don't want to get into it. So there's that whole thing. There is all that. I have thought about, like, kind of going along with that. Evansville's been having more and more dispensaries pop up. So, you know, I've thought about, like, you know, if we ever needed, like, you know, extra cash or whatever, like, seeing if any of those places needed some part-time. Because it's basically the same thing, just with THC and weed instead of alcohol. Because I love that concept of, like, a store with, like, a bunch of different, like, products and things like that, and just being able to help people who are coming in specifically for that thing, and just giving my personal opinions and help guiding them to provide them with the best experience as possible. It's just that it doesn't pay very well, and most of them aren't full-time work with, like, benefits and shit like that. So when I was in LA, I considered doing bud tending. I would be very good at that. Is again, obviously I won't say specifics or anything. Where you guys are at now, I know it's still illegal, but do they have, like, basically what we have here, and what I would imagine most states where it's still illegal have, where they have like the Delta 8 and Delta 10 dispensary, like they have the CBD places. Like, can you guys still get, like, you guys can't get marijuana or cannabis, but can you get hemp flower and CBD products and stuff? Because if so, you know, maybe, you know, again, kind of same thing, like, if you're looking into doing that, then wow, that was like 9 days ago. It isn't. And again, obviously, you know, person to person, I actually prefer hemp to cannabis. Delta 9 THC makes me very jittery and shaky, and it makes me, Delta 9 is what gives me the, like, paranoia and, like, anxiety that some people get with THC. But I have never, no matter how much I ingest, how high I've gotten, Delta 8 has never done that to me. And Delta 10 is actually a very... How do I put it? Delta 10 is a... I can do stuff when I'm on Delta 10. Like, if I'm on 8 or 9, like, I do that in the evening when I'm trying to relax and I'm not going anywhere. Not to say that I drive while under the influence of anything ever. But Delta 10, like, I don't know, it's like I get the high, but it's not so much like a head thing. Like, I don't really get like a brain fog or the like memory issues and things like that. I get relaxed, I feel good, I feel positive, but I can also, like, I can operate, I can do things. I haven't had it in a while though. I think I may have some, I don't know. But yeah, I totally understand people who are like, yeah, like, I've tried like the hemp stuff, I've tried Delta 8 and 10 and all that other stuff, and it just doesn't do anything for me, or you know, I just don't like how I feel on it compared to, like, you know, cannabis and Delta 9. I get it. Everyone's different. Everyone's body and mind react differently to the same shit. One of our friends kind of finally got to the point where they were okay with trying it, and so, like, on 4 separate occasions now, we have given him like a piece of an edible, and nothing has happened. At least not that, like, he can tell. Like, he's never said that, like, oh yeah, you know, like, I finally tried it and I, like, felt different or, like, got high or whatever. So but his wife his wife's really interesting on the different shit that we bring over. She's a lot of fun. But yeah, I don't mind it. So I don't know. I've kind of been considering it because I feel like it would be the same environment, and obviously, like, no matter what sort of retail environment you're in, no matter what, you're gonna deal with assholes, you're gonna deal with shitty people, you're gonna deal with this and that. There's never gonna be no negative experience. But I feel like people with weed versus people with alcohol is still a pretty different crowd. Like, you're not gonna have, you know, drunks coming in, throwing shit, and being angry with you that you clearly can't sell anything to them because it is very clear they are intoxicated. Like, I feel like worst case scenario at, like, a dispensary is you're gonna get someone coming in and just being like, hey, like, I can't really sell it. Like, you're very clearly high. Like, I can't sell to you. And they'd be like, oh, man. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I'll just come back tomorrow. Like, you know, you may get, like, a couple shitty people, but, like, I just don't feel like it would be as bad. See, I like the head feeling of THC, but CBD doesn't quite touch my pain enough. Fair enough. When I lived in LA, I would get THCA drops that didn't get me high, but melted the pain from my fibro away. Gotcha. They'd just be bummed. Yeah, that's what I mean. Is, like, you know, like, I feel like dealing with weed people is just a very different crowd than dealing with alcohol people. Not even saying alcoholics, just, like, I don't know. It seems like when people come in for alcohol and they can't get it for one reason or another, the reaction to it is usually anger, and always directed at you because you're personally wronging them. But I feel like if a customer came into a dispensary and for one reason or another you couldn't sell to them or they couldn't get what they want, it would be like, it's just, well, like you said, it would just be a bummer. And be like, oh man, I was kind of looking forward to that. All right. You know, again, you're gonna have shitty people. Like, no matter where you are, there's gonna be shitty people who are gonna get angry that you can't do this, can't do that, even if it's stuff that isn't in your power. You know, like, you're sold out of it or whatever it may be. But I also feel like the environment would just be a little more chill. Like the people you work with and everything. And again, you're always going to have shitty coworkers. You're always going to have shitty managers and people telling you what to do and all this and that. But, like, again, on the whole, I feel like it would be a different environment. I just wish retail did, closer to full-time and paid better. That would be nice. We actually had to cut ties to... Can I say this? Mana? Are you home? Oh, I didn't know if you were home. I need your opinion on something. Can you come here for a second? I want to tell Stream something, but I'm not sure if I should. Well... Okay, I have gotten approval. No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna talk about it. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't crossing any lines or that I shouldn't talk about it. So, last year, Mana and I had at the time, exciting opportunity where... So we started making, our business, the Bright Stars Menagerie of Mysticisms. Most of what we do is resin products, and by we I mean Mana, because she does 90% of the work. I just help lift things when I can, and over this month I'm going to be like restructuring their website. But most of the stuff is done by them. Anyways. The business started making resin, like pot leaf ashtrays. We started making grinders. Just like a couple little like weed accessory products. And already at that time, we had started. Whenever we needed our CBD THC fix, we would always go to this place called Walls Organics, mostly because at the time they were like the only place in Evansville that was like an established dispensary, and one of their locations was very close to us. So we had been customers there for like at that point already like a year. And when we started making those products, we approached them and said, hey, we have been customers of your shop for quite some time now, and we really like you guys. We have started making these products. Would you like us? Can we make some sort of deal where you guys sell them in your shop? And we had some business discussions with them, and we figured out, how we were going to do this, whether it was going to be like a wholesale option or just like a revenue split sort of thing. And so we worked things out, and we made a deal with them, and we got our products in one of their stores, like as a test, to see how well they performed. And it went fine. We got a couple sales like right away, and then, it trickled after that for a month or two. And then we ended up cutting all ties with them. We pulled our products that they did not buy wholesale. Well, actually no. So I think we sold them our products wholesale. So we couldn't. They had already paid for them, so we couldn't pull them from the shelves. But we did pull our business cards, and we pulled our name from them. We asked them, like, if anyone asks who. No, we didn't do that. But we did pull our business cards. We took our business cards out of their store, and we said that going forward we would no longer be doing business with them. And then Mana and I also stopped being customers at their store. Because although we liked all of the employees that we always interacted with, the owner of the business went on this, like, week-long tirade on Facebook, and in his store, just being really Christian about it. And what I mean by that is, like, apparently the whole thing started because I guess, like, some people came into his store that weren't Christian, as I would imagine actually, like, most of his customer base was. And, you know, I don't know the specifics of the situation. All I know is I remember hearing that, like, some non-Christians got kicked out of his store, and then he made some big Facebook post about how, I am paraphrasing and boiling things down, but essentially that people who aren't Christian are evil and are going to hell. And it's like, you run a weed store? Like, it's just really weird for, like, a dispensary owner to be that, like, really religious about things. And so, like, if it had just been that one instance, when we saw the posts and everything, we already started, like, Mana and I started having discussions about, like, are we gonna pull out of this? We kind of just got into it. We're having okay sales. It's the only place in town to go. Like, what are we gonna do? And we didn't even come to a decision. We were just, before we could even come to a conclusion as to what we were going to do, he just kept going, and it was just an outpouring of, like, every comment, multiple comments, multiple posts on Facebook, and on their business page, because that was kind of the big thing too, of, like, if it was just his personal page, it would already be something we'd not be okay with, but dragging his, like, actual business into it too was worse enough. And it was just all this shit about, like, you know, condemning people and banning people from his stores and all this sort of stuff just because they didn't follow his religion. So we backed out of it. We don't associate with them anymore. But yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't seem to have affected his business at all, because they actually opened up a new location in recent times. So, you know, not that I wish any, you know, any bad luck or anything on anybody, but, you know, it is what it is. I get to hear that at work all the time, but that's kind of the par for the course for the area. And yeah, I mean, you know, again, same thing, but, like, this dude was, like, from, he was in Colorado for, like, years, and, you know, was, you know, like, in the cannabis industry out there, but then, like, came here, in the hopes of the eventuality of, you know, like, full legalization, whether at the state level or the federal level. But, you know, again, they've got, like, 3 or 4 locations now, so good for them, I suppose. Think about what you know about me. The place I work is owned by devout Christians, and we keep getting contracts with the military to be on bases. Guess how much I love where I work, yeah. Yeah, I hear that.
What's going on, huh?
Jesus!
What's up?
Doing that shit on purpose. I got done with it. I was just talking about walls and all that.
Oh, yeah.
But, alright, guys, I am...
Gonna go cook your food?
Yes.
By the way, it's in the fridge.
Okay.
Your half of it, anyway. Mine's in the slow cooker, and it smells delicious!
Alright, guys, well, that's gonna be it for today. Yes, that was Mana. As usual, thanks to everybody who was here hanging out with me today. As far as I'm concerned, we'll be live on Wednesday. With Kingdom Hearts. Maybe. I don't know. That's the plan. We'll see if it happens. But until then, guys, Discord, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all that shit is down there. There's also a donation button. Just throwing that out there. But alright, guys, that's going to be it for today. See y'all on Wednesday.